When you're working on pictures, there are a couple of little tricks a lot of people don't know about. One of them is especially useful whenever your picture is out of frame. Now, by out of frame, what that means is an item really isn't well centered and it doesn't consume all of the frame, all of the square of the picture. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. My guess is a lot of you have been doing it in a way that does not help your listings and does not help your search engine rank. It does not help your sales. I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. I'm selling a camera with some accessories, and I brought my pictures into the listing. Your first picture, your hero picture, which is what the eBay calls this, I always tell you must have a white background if you want to sell the very most items that you can. But a lot of you have really fought me on that. You say your customers are different, your buyers are different, they don't need that. Okay. eBay doesn't agree with you, but if you know more than they do about your buyers, okay, I won't fight you on it anymore. But I have told you all pictures must be square, and actually I literally made the very first video on this channel way last year sometime all about why your pictures should be square. And that is because on cell phones, a lot of times your pictures will be cut off if you do portrait or landscape pictures and you don't take square pictures. And you can go back and watch that video. It tells you how to set your camera and everything. Easy to do, not a big deal. I don't think any of you fight me on that as much as you do the white background. But the real problem is, how do you maintain that square aspect whenever you're doing editing? So let's go through these pictures. One thing I wanted to show you, and I'm sure that you probably know about this, you can drag and drop any picture anywhere. So if you don't like the order of pictures as they came into your listing, you can always take a picture like this camera lens here, and you can drag it up anywhere. You can rearrange items. You can also delete pictures, which I suspect most of you know that, by clicking this, putting your whatever picture you don't want. Let's say we don't want that camera lens. We can put our mouse cursor over the trash bin and click it and it goes away. But eBay does give us one chance to undo it. Maybe you haven't noticed it. Have you ever accidentally deleted something and then you've got to go drag it in from your camera and all that all over again? You don't need to do that as long as you real quickly, which I missed the opportunity, as long as you real quickly click undo. I'll delete this underside of the camera here, and then I'll click undo and it goes right back. But again, if you wait too long, as I did that first time because I was talking too much, as I always do, the undo goes away. I'm going to let it go away here. So I click it. This photo's been deleted. I can click undo and it will go right back to wherever you deleted it from, whatever location, until it's no longer available to undo. So you can rearrange pictures, you can delete them, you can put them back if you accidentally delete them or change your mind. Your first picture is the hero picture. You want to have everything that you have for sale. Whenever you have a system like this, a camera with a lot of accessories, I have 2 camera bags for this, you want to include all items that are for sale in this listing in that first picture. The reason you want to is eBay requires it. A lot of sellers don't do anything eBay requires, but eBay says all items that you're selling must be in that first picture. No more. You can't have more than that. So let's say that you have 3 electric toothbrushes that you're trying to sell, that you bought wholesale somewhere, brand new. You can't put all 3 in the listing if you're just selling one at a time. You can't put all 3 in this first picture. eBay says you're kind of obligated to sell 3 of them if you do that. That's the point. Now, I know the description is going to say just 1 and all of that, but your first picture, your hero picture, must have everything you're selling in one transaction and no more and no less. But a lot of times you'll go through, and I suggest if you bring in a bunch of pictures, as you should, the more pictures you bring into a listing, the higher your search rank is on that listing. Overall, all things being equal. So you click on a listing and you start doing edits. I assume all of you do little edits from time to time. You might do a white background. Some of you, if the background's not white already, which mine is, you might want to change the contrast. You might want to change the brightness. All of that's available here. No big deal. Let me go back to, this is also the sharpness. You can increase the sharpness by dragging this to the right and it will be sharper. You can do automatic picture magic, whatever eBay calls this magic wand. If you just click that once, eBay tries to guess at how to make your picture look better. So I clicked it. I don't think it works much of the time. Notice what it did. It kind of made it lighter. Like I've got black camera equipment and black bags and they kind of made it gray. This magic wand doesn't work well for black. So I'm going to go back. I wish there were an undo for these, but there's not. So I'm going to go back to the contrast and I'm going to darken it a little bit. I'm going to go to the brightness, darken it a little bit, kind of have fixed it. Now, what would have been better is just to bring in the original picture, but that's fine. So that one's done. I'm going to go to the next picture and you might do a little adjustment, maybe a little, I always like to do a little contrast like that on most pictures. Sorry, go up to the next one. It's not really very black just because black's hard to take pictures of. So you can click that and then we get here and this picture is out of frame. So there's nothing really wrong with this picture of the camera, this kind of a wide angle shot, but it's not well framed. The camera needs to be closer to this camera. The lens of what we're looking at needs to be closer. This is not a good, it doesn't have to be super close up, but it needs to be framed better. There's too much space all around this. And so you go to the crop button. Now, this is the big key to this video. When you click crop, these crop bars appear and you can go in and crop however you want to crop it. Maybe you want to do that, and maybe you want to do this, and just get it more in frame, and maybe you'll come over here, kind of do that, and that's better. But it's not. It's not better. It's no longer a square picture. This is the problem with using the crop tool if you don't know what you're doing, and it's not your fault you don't know what you're doing. eBay doesn't tell you how to do this the right way. I don't know why they don't make it more obvious. So I'm going to go back and put all this back where it was. Now, this picture is originally square because all my pictures that I take for eBay are always square. All pictures must always be square. And you do that at your camera level, as the first video said in this channel. But instead of just grabbing one of these circle handles and just cropping a picture, and then you think, okay, well, that's that side. Now I'll go up here and kind of work on this a little bit. Well, it's all out of square. So what you need to do instead of that, here's the little secret that eBay doesn't tell you, is instead of just clicking and dragging one of these handles, if you first press the shift key, shift, I'm pressing shift down right now, and then you drag a handle, you cannot do anything but a square crop. I've still got shift pressed. So you can't just press shift and let up and then expect this to be square. It's not, okay? But if you press shift, keep it held down, and then drag any handle in or out, it will always stay square the way God intended eBay pictures to be. And so you can do the one. I still have the shift key pressed down. Now I'm going to go down here and bring it up a little bit, and now that's pretty good. I'm going to let up on the shift key. This means that I don't need to maintain a square frame anymore. It's already square, and I'm just going to drag, no shift key or anything. I'm just going to click and drag the frame, the outline, the crop around and make it more centered. And that's how you make sure that anytime you want to better frame one of your items, you will always press shift before you drag that crop mark. I'm going to do it one more time to the next item because it's out of frame. I did these intentionally. So I am going to press the shift key, and I'm keeping it down. Now I'm going to click crop, and now I'm going to just drag any handle, anything I want. I'm going to drag this up, okay? I'll drag, this down a little bit. Now, that's a little bit too far. I'm cutting off some. I kind of did this on the other one too, but I want to bring it out a little bit more. I should have left a little space over here when I took the picture. I didn't quite do that. But anyway, with the shift key still held down, the whole time I'm messing with the crop tool, I've got the shift key down, and eBay maintains a square ratio if you do that, and you always should do that. Now I can let up on the shift key. And now I can click save, and my item is well framed and it's perfectly square. That is the proper way to crop when you're editing an eBay picture. What about if you're using a cell phone to edit pictures? I don't know, and I don't care. Sorry about that. You're going to have to go to someone else. I think there are too many mistakes you're going to be making on things like pictures if you don't at least visit your desktop computer or a tablet and work on a real screen using a real web browser and finalize your pictures and your listing with a real computer and not a phone. Too many little options get lost on the phone, and you're not going to sell as much if you don't try your best to complete or from the start do all of your listings on a computer, tablet, just a large screen using eBay in a web browser. That's how you can really take advantage of this crop tool that perfectly crops squares for you. If all eBay pictures must be square, and they must be, although hardly anyone does it, but eBay wants them all to be, if all pictures must be square, then all crops should also be square to maintain that square. So this is the one time in life you can be a square and still be hip, although I'm way too young to have any idea what that language meant back in the 70s.